I hope everybody's ready to dive in. In your box, you should have a nice collection of 4 different cheeses. If you have our signature box, we're going to have our nice pairings to go along with. We're going to start on the softer, fresher side of our cheeses, move a little bit more firm and aged as we go, and then finish up with the blue cheese at the end. For all our blue lovers out there, that's fantastic. But if you start with the blue cheese, it's all going to taste a little bit like blue cheese. So why don't you snack on the New Moon to start? I do want to highlight all of the cheeses do have fun, spooky Halloween names to go along with our theme. So we do have a beautiful goat cheese styled after a brie to start out with. This comes to us from Lively Run Goat Dairy. They're one of the longest running goat dairies in America. Started out in the early 80s and then was purchased by the Mesmer family in 95. Suzanne and Steve purchased the farm. Steve would get up early in the morning to milk the animals. Suzanne would turn that milk into cheese. That's how they would keep the farm running and support their family. Their children, Pete and Dave, got involved in the process as early as 6 years old. And Pete now runs the farm and is the head cheesemaker at Lively Run Goat Dairy. Really fantastic example of a farmstead producer. The cheese and the milk are all being made on the same land by the same people, so it's all one harmonious process. When you're diving into the cheese here, I encourage you start by having some of the paste where it's all runny and gooey and delicious. Try that by itself on a nice, really alone, so that you can enjoy the flavors of the flavors and textures of that cheese. Then try it with a nice crunchy cracker or one of our pairings. Introduce those different layers of flavor and texture one by one so we can appreciate each individual product. On this sort of cheese, folks will often ask as well, can I eat the rind? Should I eat the rind? How do I know? What are the rules? And the answer is really easy here in the United States because the government knows there's somebody out there who is going to eat the rind no matter what we tell them. So it is a law that all rinds on all cheeses in America have to be totally digestible. It's not a law they have to be totally delicious. So try the rind, see if you like it. On a cheese like this, the rind is naturally formed and very much a part of the product, and so it will add extra layers of texture and flavor to enjoy. If you decide you don't like the rind, scoop out the middle, go at it that way. We're not ones to judge. I'm ready to try a little bite of this goodie because I think it is smelling so nice. You really get this wonderful mushroomy aroma to the cheese when you take it out of its cheese paper, and that really nice, soft, creamy texture just looks so decadent and delicious. Going to try it by itself first, and then we'll add in a little bit of this pumpkin jam that we have as a pairing. Mm-hmm. Really lovely, salty, earthy sort of flavors, especially when you get some of the rind in there. You get this really nice, delicate chew, almost a little bit fudgy. You get some nice bitter notes to play with those salty, buttery flavors that we get out of brie style cheeses like this one. And then the paste is just so velvety and luscious and really coats the palate. The fact that we're working with goat's milk here means that it's a little bit leaner compared to a standard cow's milk brie. So it doesn't quite sit on the tongue in the same way, feels a little bit more light and clean and fresh, which is really pleasant. This is something I would love with fresh grapes, honeys, a little bit of sweet acidity, I think would be so perfect with something like this. Think this pumpkin jam going to check the box very, very nicely. This is actually a Portuguese recipe, very simple. It's pumpkin, lemon juice, and sugar, and it has this really nice puree sort of texture, lovely color to it as well. And I think it's really going to check the boxes of that sweet acidity to balance out the flavors of the cheese very nicely. I think that is a very pretty bite, y'all. Mm. Mm-hmm. The sweetness of the jam really lifts those heavier flavors in such a pleasant way. I think it really takes me to fall weather. Still feels like summer here in Austin, but I take a bite of this. I feel the breeze coming through. I can tell that the season is going to change any moment now. I think that is such a fantastic bite. This is, I will say, a very versatile product. You could go a lot of different directions with something like this. Try Cornichon pickles, a little bit of bite to go with that buttery flavor, going to be fantastic. Or wrap that in a nice bit of puff pastry, and it'll get really bubbly and delicious, and you'll just be able to scoop in there with a spoon. Um, Lively Run Goat Dairy, we featured a couple of their cheeses in our signature tastings. We had their Finger Lakes Gold Gouda on our plate just a couple months ago. They've won several awards for cheeses like the Finger Lakes Gold and the New Moon here. So really fantastic product, and it's lovely to know when you're enjoying this, you're supporting a specific family doing really fantastic stuff. So I hope that y'all enjoy that one as much as I do, and I'm going to get ready for our second cheese and pairing.